Ozzy was here right now, and he is, 'cause he's fourth dimensional ascended master. I'd kiss him a lot, I'd kiss him a lot, 'cause I never really got to give an Ozzy a kiss, kiss, kiss. Rest in peace for your meat sack, Ozzy, 'cause you're here right now with me. And I tell you something, brother, you will be loved for all eternity. Ozzy. That's if Ozzy Osbourne was that damn keyboard, he would be getting a kiss right now, because rest in peace to Ozzy. I'm choking up right now as I say it. As I say it, I feel myself tingling with the sorrows. This hit different. Rest in peace to Ozzy Osbourne. He has passed away. Now, I want to welcome you to 190. We are dedicating this episode to Ozzy Osbourne, because I'm telling you, all of the news is about Ozzy Osbourne. Everyone's come out of the woodwork. Henry Rollins, David Lee Roth, Joan Jett, Lita Ford says he changed my life, and indeed he did with the Close My Eyes Forever. But Ozzy has passed away. Just a scant little bit of time there, right after that, back to the beginning show where he finally got to say goodbye to the audience. I've watched it. It's beautiful. But Ozzy Osbourne, we love you with all of our hearts, my friend. I like to have giggles and fun with you, but you were always an entertaining fellow, and you're right here with us, just in different form. Energy doesn't die, it just transitions, it just changes. So Ozzy, consciousness, all there, he's there, just the meat sack has been put down, not put down, that's the wrong words for that. So, this episode, I welcome you one and all, and we are going to hear from some of the folks out there, because all of Blabbermouth is about Ozzy Osbourne. Every way you turn, every which way you turn, someone's saying, Matt Sorum, he says, my God, Ozzy Osbourne. Rod Stewart freaking did a special thing for him live on stage. I was going to get that ready, but I've got something way better, because we're going to take a hard turn after we celebrate Ozzy Osbourne. And you know the singer Michael Kiske of Halloween. He's going to talk about how he keeps his vocals in, but it's going to take you into the Matrix. I watched this interview last night, and I felt like you just got to watch his eyes. Just watch the sunglasses that he's wearing. That's for later. We've got Kermit the damn Frog has chimed in on Ozzy Osbourne. We got Gene Simmons here. We got, but we're looking at the Ozman himself. There he is in his throne, his final concert, happy as a clam, and it was absolutely wonderful. I'm still, I'm still up in arms about it. What's his name? He did a video about it, and it was pretty good, kind of a retrospective about Ozzy. Mammoth singer. He gets up there, and he choked me up, because he was playing a gig somewhere. Well, that's Wolfie Van Halen, Wolfie Van Halen, Mammoth, and he's up on stage and he says the world just feels different that there's no Ozzy Osbourne in it. I 100% agree. I have been all out of shape. Is it bad to say that I was more torn up and kind of shaken? You know what I'm going to say. If you listen to this podcast, you know exactly what I'm about to say. But I was more torn up about Ozzy Osbourne. I wore his shirt today. I was going to wear it for this podcast, but it's got a filthy, dirty sweat stain right across his eyebrows. So I wasn't going to besmirk him like that. But Mama Diablo, I mean, this has really kind of put me in a weird situation. Ozzy Osbourne has passed away. Of course, if you're a fan of the Osbournes, you can watch all seasons of that on the free smart app, Tubi. It's either Tubi or Pluto that has all of the Osbournes, so you can giggle and laugh along with Ozzy. That's where he became that funny character. This man has literally scared every single human being in the world at one time or another when he first came out. And he's made them laugh and giggle and fall in love with him with the TV show. And he is an icon of not only music, but as of reality television and all of it. Of course, Tobias Fjorke from Ghost, he was in his, that wig and the mask and stuff, and he playing a concert. And he said, "Tonight, we are dedicating this show to one Ozzy Osbourne. For he was a prince of darkness, but he shed so much light." And I said, damn it, not a sweeter words could be spoken. Thank you, Tobias, for that. Tony Iommi, everyone has come out of the woodwork. We could go for days with people coming out and saying, because he really has affected everyone. Now, I told you the story about getting my hernia surgery, not knowing what that was going to be all about. A hernia surgery? Yes, dear, just get in the car and here's your new Bark at the Moon record. Well, shit, I didn't know that I was going to be 6 weeks on my back. But the first time that I set eyes on Ozzy, there was a kid named Travis who had fangs, oddly enough, that lived across the street from me. And went over to his room, and he had a very put together heavy metal room. You know what I mean? It wasn't dirt, it was immaculate. And he's like, "Dude, you ever hear Ozzy Osbourne?" And he pulled out the Speak of the Devil record, and I went, "Oh my God, what the hell is that?" Now, I knew Men at Work, I knew Peaches and Herb, I knew Journey, I knew Asia, I knew Kiss. I was down with the Kiss, but I was like, fangs on this guy, and he's spitting. And he says, "That's real rabbit guts." That's what Travis told me. He said, "That's real rabbit guts." He said, he's taking a bite out of a rabbit. Oh yeah, he eats lots of things. He eats rats and bats and doves and rabbits for this album cover. But rest in peace, dear Ozzy. This episode 190, it's probably chock full of your comments at the end saying farewell to the fine fellow. And so we're going to get right into it. And you're not going to guess who's up first. Sitting on a park bench. That's Jethro Tull, Ian Anderson right there. And I was just going to, I'm not going to lie, guys. I was going to just call him Jethro Tull and say, someone was going to say, "Oh my God, dude. He thinks that's Jethro Tull." Ian Anderson on Ozzy Osbourne. These stories are going to be from some of the folks. I was going to say greats, but, he was slightly roguish. Crazy character, full of stories. That's what Ian Anderson has to say in a new interview with Neil Jones' Rock Show on Total Rock. They got to start booking everybody. It's July 23rd, 22nd. They're like, "Get him on the phone. We've got to speak to someone." Jethro Tull's singer, Ian Anderson, spoke about this weekend's passing of legendary Black Sabbath singer Ozzy Osbourne. Asked if he knew Ozzy at all, Ian said, as transcribed by, "I only ever met Ozzy Osbourne on one occasion, which was, I think, 1971. And we briefly crossed paths. And I think we were on the same bill at a concert." You'd know that, Ian. If freaking Ozzy Osbourne in 1971, Black Sabbath was entering the building, you know they're there. They had become very successful, I do believe, in the USA with what was the burgeoning mode of heavy metal, whereas we were in a slightly pre-progressive rock phase, playing rather more complex music. And, unfortunately, Ozzy was taken ill after soundcheck. I don't know what with, but he actually knocked on me door to the dressing room. And I had me pants off. And he came in personally to apologize that he was feeling really unwell and wouldn't be able to perform that night. And I was struck by that. I was struck by that. First of all, the gentlemanly approach and the fact that he was really filled with remorse and embarrassment and felt he had to come and tell me personally before he broke the news to the promoter. And so we had to go on stage to play to the Black Sabbath fans as well as our own fans. with a little trepidation, because this was literally just, I don't know, an hour, maybe, perhaps, before we were due on stage. But the show went okay. And hopefully we recovered by the next night, which I do. And hopefully he recovered by the next night, which I don't think was another concert with us. Anderson also once again reflected on Black Sabbath's guitarist Tony Iommi's sole appearance with Jethro Tull. Really? This is why you check in with the heavy metal news, guys. You're getting a nugget here. Off topic, I saw an unbelievable performance from Rush. I was watching YouTube. Xanadu. And I thought, it was all spacey and shit. I thought Olivia Newton-John was going to come out and do Xanadu. And I'm like, where's she at? And these bells and chimes and shit's going off in the beginning. And then all of a sudden, it's those three little fellas. And it was really when they were really young, too. Neil Peart looks like he's like a science teacher or something. And Geddy Lee had that the only way I know how to describe it is kind of a puffy haircut with the bangs cut short. The only way I know how to describe it is, if you know the show Facts of Life, it's about, they're just about to cut the series completely, and Jo was putting her hair down. Remember Jo from Facts of Life? You might be old enough to remember that, but she was putting it down straight. It looked like that. But it was unbelievable. I was like, damn. But I did keep waiting for Olivia Newton-John to come out there. For the first minute or two of it, I was like, where is she at? Back to Jethro Tull. Jethro Tull, which took in December 1968 for filming of the Rolling Stones film Rock and Roll Circus at the time. Jethro Tull was in need of a new guitarist after the departure of Mick Abrams. Ian said, of course, I knew Tony Iommi pretty well from a period at the end of 1968 when Tony came and played a few things with us in the studio in London, Old England, and appeared on the Rolling Stones Rock and Roll Circus, miming the guitar part to the song that we performed on that. And over the years, I kept in touch with Tony. In fact, I sent him a message last night. Tick, tick, tick. He's got one of them old phones. It's not even a smartphone yet. Cricket. Well, I got the Cricket brand. They said that's a good brand. It's the Cricket brand, so I got that. And he says, I sent him a message. What did it say? In fact, I sent him a message last night. A message of condolence to lament the sad passing of Ozzy Osbourne, and saying how I was pleased that he was able to fulfill that last concert in Birmingham, United Kingdom. And it really is a beautiful thing that got to happen, because, if it was cut short. But it's a great bookend. He has learned his lessons here on in that particular meat sack. And he's still with us, man. I am a true and firm believer. He is right here, right now. And he's saying, this guy has the best podcast ever. Sharon always make me turn it off. I'm telling you, okay? We might make this a shorter one because we got to get to Gene Simmons. Now, Gene Simmons always keeps the sunglasses on, okay? But those lips are saying there's tears under those. Gene Simmons cries, guys. Don't not think that he doesn't. That hard, cold, crusty exterior, there is a gentle giant. There is a wonderful man under there, and he's a tender soul, and you know it. But he's got business to do. You can't mix tender souls and business. You got to keep them separate. You can't get your heart caught up in business. Gene Simmons, he says, again, my friends, on Ozzy Osbourne, there never was one like him before, and probably never will be again. On Tuesday. Do you know what that stands for, KISS? I'm not going to repeat it. I refuse to. KISS bassist vocalist Gene Simmons sat down with NBC News. You know, when you're hitting NBC News. Gadi Schwartz to discuss Ozzy Osbourne's legacy and their longtime friendship and intertwined early careers in the music industry. Asked how he remembered the Black Sabbath singer, Gene said, and he's going to have very elegant words here. Well, I remember the man. In 1974, we were both trying to forge our paths. And we actually played on the same bill. Was it the same one as Jethro Tull? If he says he got sick, and I will tell you that the masses, the fans, are grieving. What can you say? It's just broken hearts. And when I tell you my heart, my prayers, and millions of others to Sharon and the kids. Weird way to cut that off. What can you say? It's just broken hearts. And when I tell you my heart, my prayers, and millions of others, millions of other prayers or millions of other people praying on your behalf to Sharon and her kids. People think of him as the Prince of Darkness. And on stage, of course, this is huge persona, a giant. But at the same time, he was a loving father and a dedicated husband. You can say whatever you want about Ozzy. There never was an Ozzy before Ozzy. And that's true. What's he going to add here? It says Simmons added, you can't really point to anybody and say, oh yeah, that's where he came from. Scientists call that a singularity, an anomaly. He was just kind of born Ozzy. And as far as I know, his entire life, to thine own self be true. Oh, he's talking in poetry. That's what the Greeks say. Ozzy was always Ozzy. Through disco, through whatever music genre there were, Ozzy was always Ozzy, all the way to the end. And that's pretty damn true, isn't it? He didn't jump ship and do disco songs or nothing like that. He said, I don't do that. I like the Bee Gees. I turn it on once in a while, but find a disco hit. I mean, I'm sure there's one in there. There were some of them, some of that weirdness that happened with Black Sabbath there, and so, you know, I'm sure. Reflecting on Ozzy's final performance, which took place on July 5th at the Back to the Beginning event in Birmingham, United Kingdom, Gene said it was shocking to see him on his throne, with everybody paying tribute, as well they should. To Sabbath, there would have been Metallica and lots of other bands. What? There wouldn't have been Metallica and lots of other bands. I agree. What about Kiss, Gene? Did Kiss not exist? I guess they came out about the same time, didn't they? No. Black Sabbath was... No, what am I talking about? They're the inventors of heavy metal. Sabbath was way before Kiss. And Ozzy was just giving it all. You couldn't tell. You couldn't tell. And a week later, devastating news about his death. I mean, the fans, my social media, and my phone's been off the hook. People are just crying. They're just devastated. What can you say? Well, Gene, dare I say, my friend, I believe, sir, that you have said enough. Because I want to get to your comments, and we got to see Michael Kiske. You're going to go into the Matrix. Are you ready for that? You look through his sunglasses, and you're gonna say, my God. It's the perfect setup. Whoever set the cameras up for that Michael Kiske interview. Let's get into Maxi Cavalera here. And, by the way, I watched, fucking, it was just banging. Was it Dynamo? I want to say it was Dynamo, but it was Sepultura. 1996, Roots had just come out. And my God, was that a good concert. Now I feel weird. Oh, no, it was Pink Pop. I remember going, are you there, people? And I love the way, dude never looked at his guitar once. And he had like dreads and pink in his hair and all this shit. And we're just wearing the dirtiest clothes you'd ever seen in your life. And he's up there and he's singing and he doesn't look at the guitar. He closes his eyes, you know, and you're just like, damn. So if you get a chance, go watch that. 1996 Sepultura at the... Well, Maxi Cavalera said, Oswald, I just thought he was really funny.
He's a funny guy.
And Ozzy was just... hilarity ensued on that TV show. I mean, just him screaming about sharing the dog shit on the carpet again. You know, it's just like, that's... The great thing about that show was that you were like, oh, so he's just like me. I mean, he's a big legendary rock star, but he's just a guy that deals with the same problems. Washing dishes and vacuuming and dog shitting on the carpet and, you know, just regular old shit. Former Sepultura and current Soulfly frontman Maxi Cavalera share his memories of Ozzy Osbourne during an appearance on 12 News, the NBC affiliate in Phoenix, Arizona. That's where Max lives. And you probably saw that video that we did on Friday, because indeed it was blocked, and you'll hear me bitch about it in the video. Deftones, My Mind is a Mountain, you saw that. And I spoke of that I went to Phoenix, Arizona and saw Deftones there, and they didn't have a record out at the time. It's before the record release. And Max Cavalera was there with his son in his arms. He can't do that anymore. The son plays drums for one of his bands now. That kind of gives you an idea how old I am, you guys. Asked what kind of guy Ozzy was, Max said, as transcribed by blah, well, I first met him around 96. When I played Dynamo. I said, Rush, bloody Rush. With my old band, Sepultura. And at the time, he didn't come out that much. And we were all also, because we were such fans, we were all scared of him. We said, he's going to eat some rabbits. He might eat some rabbits or bats. But then after I broke up with my old band, I started my new band, Soulfly. That's where Shane got his legs hyperextended, and he was in the mosh pit for maybe, what did you say, Shane? I said about 4 seconds. Oh, that's right, 4 seconds. I started my new band, Soulfly. That was at the same time that our sons were killed here in Arizona. My God. Am I forgetting something? Our son was killed here in Arizona. Ozzy and Sharon invited us to their house, and we started hanging out more with them. When we did Ozfest, our kids played together. They went to their house. But yeah, like I say, I think the image of the wild guy and all that, the times I spent with him, I just thought he was a really, really funny man. Asked if he would describe Ozzy as kind of a normal guy. That's what I just did. I think so. He cleaned up dog shit just like the rest of us, because we would mostly hang out in the backstage and things like that. And there was this one time when we were in Sweden, and he asked me, where are we? I said, Ozzy, you don't know where we are. I don't know where we are. He had no idea where he was. I just love that about him. He was like, this is so cool. This guy is so cool. This guy, he's so rock and roll. He just goes. He doesn't even know what country he's in. It's beautiful. In 2014, pardon me, guys. With the Phoenix News-Times, Max reflected on Ozzy and Sharon's kindness after Cavalera's stepson Dana passed away. God, I don't want to get in that. It was a very horrible thing. We were flying home because Gloria's son, Max's wife and manager, he died in Ozzy's plane. Guys, I'm having a complete blackout of this. He died in Ozzy's plane. It was horrible. The whole time it was so dark. I wanted to say something to Gloria, and words couldn't even come out of my mouth. And Sharon talks about feeling like we needed a friend at the time. And oh my God. And she was able to help us. They didn't have to do anything. Well, it was their plane. Was it like a private jet type of situation? It wasn't like... Somebody else could have said, I'm sorry for your loss. But they didn't do that. They put us on their plane, gave us money, and gave Gloria a crucifix. What? Died in Ozzy's plane. It was horrible. What? They didn't have to do anything, but they put you back on Ozzy's plane again? They didn't have to do anything. They were just playing a show with us. And yet they showed with their true colors. Somebody else could have said, I'm so sorry for your loss. But they didn't do that. They put us on their plane, gave us money, and gave Gloria a crucifix. And they got them everywhere. Ozzy's got a pocket full of them at all times. It was amazing. Then when I got kicked out of Sepultura, it was around January, where we were invited to their Sharon and Ozzy Osbourne's house for a dinner because Ozzy wanted to encourage me to go on. Boy. How's that? Ozzy Osbourne wants to encourage Max Cavalera to go on with music. Oh, Max, come in, have a goblet of blood and sit down. Let's talk. Let's talk about your career. You know, I mean, what? And Ozzy's going to say something. He's going to say, fuck, here, guys. He encouraged me to go on. That's how I felt, like he should do something. I went to their house and I sat down. It's a nice, comfortable sit. And Ozzy sat me down. He come over, he put his hands on me, he said, sit your hips. He sat me down and said, fuck them. Fuck those guys. You need to get up off your ass and do something. It was awesome. It was awesome to hear him from the work to say that from him. I needed to hear that. He played me some Black Sabbath demos and it blew my mind. I said, it's so cool. It was fucking awesome to hear that from him. I was tripping the whole time. I never even imagined I would do that. You know, like when I was a little kid in Brazil. If you would have told me I would sit down with Ozzy fucking Black Sabbath, I wouldn't have believed it. Ozzy died Tuesday morning, July 22nd. His family announced it in a statement. It is with more sadness than mere words can convey that we have to report that our beloved, indeed, Mr. Ozzy Osbourne, has passed away this morning. He was with his family and surrounded by love. That's what it's all about, baby. Because, you know, go talk to your scientists and they're going to start telling you some stuff about the neurodivergency of your heart. Connected. This is stronger than this. You just wait. Sorry to get in the middle of the family speaking on this. We ask everyone to respect our family privacy at this time, the family said. No cause of death. It would have been just great if they said he just poofed like smoke and was gone. We don't know. But there was no cause of death given, but Osbourne had been battling a number of health issues over the past several years, including Parkinson's disease and injuries he sustained from a late-night fall in 2019. Zach Wilde, he did a fantastic little tribute to him. I mean, he's got to be broken up because that guy truly loves Ozzy, you know, and knew him so well. And, I mean, it is still something, right? Ozzy's death came a little more after 2 weeks after he took the stage of his final performance with Black Sabbath at Villa Park in the band's original hometown of Birmingham, United Kingdom. They performed 4 songs for more than 40,000 people in the stadium and 5.8 million more on a live stream. Ozzy was also played 5 songs solo set while seated in a bat-adorned throne. Every time this computer dings, it sends me into a frenzy. The legendary Black Sabbath frontman was diagnosed. Okay, we're not getting into that. Why are there so many
songs about rainbows and what's on the other side.
Even Kermit the Frog wants to talk about Ozzy Osbourne. Now, some of you are going to say, Shane, you just want to try and do a Kermit the Frog voice. I'm not a voice. I've never dreamt of being a voice actor, guys. All right? I don't even know how that shit piped off. I don't really sound like anybody. But anyways, Kermit the Frog. Is this going to be a shorter episode? Hell, I don't know. Because I could have stacked them up. David Lee Roth. He said, squibbity-bip-a-doo-be-doo-be-shoo-be-doo-boo. Ozman, he says, I tell you what, Ozman, get me an ice cold cup of whiskey, and when I get to hell, I'll drink it with you. They're just everywhere. Everywhere. Alice Cooper, all coming out. And rightfully so. I mean, I saw the most beautiful thing on TikTok, and it was, oddly enough, it was a lot of older African-American women. But they were all teary-eyed at Ozzy Osbourne. And I saw a couple of them saying, come on, let's dance. You know, they've got Crazy Train or something going, and they're dancing and going off there. This isn't for you, Ozzy. It's just like the world is going, you know what? I didn't listen to Ozzy's music, but man, I love that guy. So the vibrations are very good, very high, and we love that guy. And I didn't even mean that to rhyme. Kermit the Frog. Then we're going to head into the eyes of Michael Kiske from Halloween, and then into your comments. Kermit the Frog. Of course, Jim Henson made famous. You know, I don't know who's doing the voice now, but I do see on TikTok there's a guy that does a Kermit. It's not the official one. It's not the real one. But he's always going against this. You can do this thing on TikTok where you're side screened and you're battling for whatever, thumbsy upsies or whatever, you know, and whoever's winning. And there's always this really angry guy that seems very disheveled. And Kermit's always winning. And he's going, oh, come on, man. Yeah, just keep hitting the buttons, guys. You're doing great. And the other guy's going, "Boo!" And you can just see his numbers plummeting. And Kermit's, anyways. This ain't going to make sense to half of you. If you don't have TikTok, don't get it. Kermit the Frogman, he's got a few things to say.
No one rocked harder.
Kermit the Frog has paid tribute to his friend, Ozzy Osbourne, after the legendary Black Sabbath singer passed away on July 22nd.
No one rocked harder than the great Ozzy Osbourne.
The iconic green frog, who was created and performed by the late Jim Henson, said in a social media post,
we loved working with him on our album Kermit Unpigged. He recorded Born to Be Wild with Miss Piggy.
Well, where's her piping in?
The perfect song for both of them.
Now we got to do it on the channel.
Every time we bumped into Ozzy over the years, he made us feel so cool. And he made us feel as cool as he was. We loved having a friend like Ozzy Osbourne, and we feel so lucky to have known him, worked with him, and experienced his music for so many decades.
Spoken like a true frog, right? The official post caption read,
thanks to the Prince of Darkness for the music and the memories, remembering our friend Ozzy Osbourne.
Now, I'm going to say Ozzy Osbourne because I love saying Ozzy Osbourne, but I know that pisses people off. And they can't wait to get in the and we ain't got time for that down in the Jive Talkin. For people to go, dude, you called him Osbourne. It's Osbourne. I can see it. You see, I'm rubbing my thingy over it right now. My mouse. Ozzy's version of Born to Be Wild for Kermit Unpigged was recorded in 1994. Ozzy appeared alongside Kermit the Frog at the Golden Jubilee for Queen Elizabeth II in 2002 and posed for a press photo with Kermit. Oh, please let it be down below. Universe, When I scroll down, please let that picture be down there. The Queen's Jubilee, yes, yes. And there's no kings, no queens. And posed for a press photo with Kermit that recalled his tendency for biting animals' heads. He tried to take a nibble on him, didn't he? Says the photo is available if I click this. And something tells me that's a really bad idea. Should I click it? Ozzy's death came a little more than 2 weeks after he took the stage. Yes, we got all that. 5.8 live streamed. Ozzy, we love you, my sweetheart, you sweet son of a gun. I know you hear me. As true as, I listen to The Ultimate Sin. There is a nice feature on Spotify where you listen to an album all the way through. It'll kick you out of that album. You've heard me talk about this on the first listens before, if you pay attention. It'll kick you out to other artists. And it will... And what I like about it is it'll put in other artists, but it'll also put in deep cuts from the person you just listened to, right? So, slow down, you're moving way too fast. It'll play the classics in there, but it'll put some deep cuts in there. Bark at the Moon, Slow Down, and So Tired, and all of that. So I had me a day. And yesterday I listened to the music, and today I wore my shirt. It's all sweaty because I worked really hard in it. All right, let's get into this, guys. Keep your eyes on those 2 dots inside of his glasses. I mean, listen to him. The guy is holding a Jägermeister microphone. Now, this is Chaos Zine. I love this. Go check that out. But this guy talking, there's a couple times he bent his head where I thought he had 3 divots in his chin. But he is passionate about the art of singing. He's very good at it. But what I want you to do is, now you're welcome to smoke something. You're welcome to take a peyote button or whatever you want. Or just sit and watch it however sober you are. But if you keep your eyes on those 2 white dots, it looks like his sunglasses go away and you're literally peering into his skull and there's 2 floating dots. And I'm loving everything that he's saying and how into it he is. Keep your eyes on those dots. Prepare to enter the Twilight Zone.
And the voice is fine. And when the voice is there, you don't need to do much. You don't need to do too much. Joey Belladonna, he's a great vocalist, a great guy.
Yeah.
He doesn't do anything.
Yeah, and Udo does that. He just has a sip of whiskey and then speeds and
Well,
goes on
Udo.
stage.
But
So
even,
there's 2 different
Udo has his
schools.
own style. He's like very rough.
Yeah.
But Belladonna sings clear and if he wants to.
Yeah.
He has this very high-pitched voice and all that, but he doesn't do anything. He doesn't have to. I just noticed I don't need as much as I thought.
Okay.
And
Starting to happen to me, guys, where I'm seeing inside of his skull now.
He does like a few screams. That's it.
Is it working for you?
Because he just needs to clear the pipes or whatever it is. Sometimes I think it's more psychological thing that you feel you're ready.
Yeah.
So whatever it takes to make you feel you're ready. But nowadays, so in the beginning I do more, but when we're on the road and the voice is trained, I don't need to do that much.
Are there like some specific foods or drinks that you want to
Red
take
wine.
before the
Red
show
wine.
that
He
you
likes
have
red
felt
wine.
that they help you somehow with the singing, or on the opposite side, something that you don't want to take that you have felt that they
lot of
harm you
water.
with the vocal cords?
What is not so good is everything with sugar.
Okay.
What is great for the voice is red wine.
Okay, it works for you.
Martini and Rossi
because of
Osbourne.
the herbs, what it is, it kind of, I don't know what it is, it kind of, it comes out of the stomach, the sense somehow. I always felt like
A bottle of red wine. That's what Peter Steele used to do.
He was drinking a lot.
I mean, guys, you need to watch the entire interview. It's 30 minutes long, But I was like, man, I have entered the other universe. Multiverse, they're stacked, guys. Come on. This isn't 2020 anymore, or 2000 or whatever. Let's get straight with it. Let's get on board. We're talking quantum physics. We're talking quantum entanglement. We're talking AI. We're talking your vibration, kinetics, man. That's what we're talking about here. Actually, we're talking about heavy metal news. But what a great job they did lining that up. He says, oh, he's going to wear sunglasses? All right. We're going to set this up perfect. Because, I mean...
A lot of red wine. Somehow it's good for my voice. Red wine. I don't have to do it.
He loves red wine.
But it kind of opens it up.
You know, someone who needs a lot of red wine, they say, I don't have to have it. Red wine. He's thinking about a glass of red wine. Stay close to me. I mean, he loves it.
He was drinking a lot of red wine. Somehow it's good for my voice. Red wine. I don't have to do it, but it kind of opens it up.
Opens up lots of things, doesn't it?
Show days.
Yeah.
Yeah, he drinks a lot. All right, everybody, it is that time. You're probably going to regale us with your thoughts and opinions and stories about the fallen Prince of Darkness, Mr. Ozzy Osbourne. Not fallen, but risen. He's just ascended, okay? His energy, his source, maintains all of its consciousness. He's the same person, but now he's going, oh, I just woke up from a dream, didn't I? I said, now, Ozzy, you're a legendary Prince of Darkness down there on Earth. He says, oh, my God, where's Ronnie? I don't want to see him. Where's Ronnie? Quick bathroom break, then into your comments. And we got Big Tone coming up first. I am so tired that I just can't wait around for you. Dun dun dun, I am so tired. Little tribute to Ozzy there. Boy, if you're my age, if you're a Gen Xer, boy, he was the soundtrack, right? This guy, you remember those hats? If you're old enough to remember, you're like me. You remember them hats that had the flaps in the back. This guy had a Speak of the Devil one, and I swear, every chance I got, I says, if he puts that down at the local swimming pool, the community swimming pool he used to go to, if he puts that down or he doesn't put it in his locker, I'm going to take it. It was the first time I thought about theft, I think. Because I was like, man, I want that hat. I want that hat. But I didn't steal it, so I'm happy about that. I went on with life as non-stealing as I could be. I mean, you know. I did steal a couple packs of cigarettes, you know, when they had them right there, right at the cash register. Someone said, you know, like 3 years later, like, you know, that's not a good idea to have the cigarettes out there. Because those racks are always empty and no one buys that brand. So how's that happen? Anyways, welcome back. We're here. It's a celebration of Ozzy. We've made it through. We've looked into the eyes of Michael Kiske, but for the most part, we have spent our loving time remembering Ozzy Osbourne, and I shall not chant burp. But Ozzy wouldn't care about that, honestly. If you fucking eating doves and bats and shit like that, you're not going to care if I burp while I'm speaking of you. But let's get into your comments and see what you may or may not have to say about this. You know, and it's perfectly fine if you put your comment in early. That could be a thing too, where you put it in early before the happenstance. Well, Big Tone coming in here. He says, "Brother Shane, great content again this week. Unbelievable content, always. The grieving and healing continues here, but every day is a little better. Still very hard to comprehend. Again, thank you all for keeping us in your thoughts. It will not only be forgotten, it will not be forgotten, my friends. I can tell you that." I added that part for Big Tone. We're with you. We're with you, my friend. There is always ups and downs here. I'm going to say something to you guys that's going to say, you're going to say, that's a bit odd, but I'm going to tell you something. You are living in the most amazing time you could ever possibly imagine to live on the earth. I'm going to leave it there, but grieving is part of all of the process. What I have learned is you've got to get rid of all of it. You've got it, but the thing is you can't just get rid of your grief or your, self things that are inside that you want to fix or whatever. You can't just do that. You've got to fight them. You got to look at it. You got to grab that old nasty memory and you got to say, yeah, I see it. I see what it is. And you got to start slapping it around and twisting it apart and saying, what is the nugget that I keep thinking about in my mind? What keeps bringing this back to me? Going, remember that? Remember that? Once you grab a hold of that stuff and you start to tear it apart, you say, I cut the cord. I take with me the lessons that I need to learn from this experience, but I cut the cord on all the negativity and I throw it away. Write that down if you need to, because it has helped me in tremendous ways. When I sit with myself, you call it woo-woo, you call it hoo-hoo, you call it damn Hulu for all you want. But when you sit and meditate, or you sit in silence, in darkness, with just yourself, those thoughts will pop in because your mind only wants to deliver you bad news. That's what the mind does. That is part of the system or the matrix. It wants you to go, remember that? Oh, no, you're not good at that. What about that bill? That bill's coming up. Oh my God, you've got that thing. Don't forget about that thing next week. All of that, that's what that does. And when you cut that, and the way you do it is you sit down, this is the way I did it, is I sit with myself in the dark, 30 minutes, set the phone alarm, and I just sit. And I close my eyes, but I look through my eyes. I say, I want to see a little dot. I want to see a little dot of light or something. And you're just breathing, thinking about your breathing or whatever else. And those thoughts are going to pop up. And you're going to start to notice them. And you're going to say, why, here I am sitting here trying to just not think about anything. And then here comes this thought. It's not you. You are the watcher of that thought. You are the one that is sitting there when that thought pops up and you go, where did that come from? That's not you. You are the watcher of that. Take it if it resonates with you. Say, horse shit, buddy, if you don't. But I'll tell you right now, you feel uncomfortable. Isn't this weird that you could sit so totally by yourself and be uncomfortable with this? Okay, I'm going to sit down and meditate. And that's foreign to you. To just sit and be by yourself in quiet. And it feels weird to you. But after you do it for a while, it don't feel weird anymore. And you start to go, oh, I don't need any of that old negativity. None of it. Now, Spotify, this is the end of that. So if you want to put something in like Shane's awesome talk or Shane's whatever you want, however you want to do that. Now let's get in. I guess I was relaying that a little thicker and heavier to Big Tone, because one of the things that really helps you with stress and anxiety and depression and all of these things and sad instances in your life that happen is just sit and free your mind of all of it. There's no time, there's nothing. There's no bills, there's no kids, there's no appointments to get to, there's nothing. You are just a person floating in that moment. Big Tone. Now we're getting into it, all right? My hand's shaking, you see that? I'm just saying, man, it really works. And it raises your vibration. And then you synchronize and you start to see synchronicities. And then you're just loving it. And you're like, oh my God, this ain't the end of the world. Sure, they can tell you any goddamn thing they want to. Oh, the bombs are coming. I can tell you this right now. That ain't going to happen. Trust me on that. Regarding Shane, sorry, before, Jesus, this guy. He just went on a Looney Tunes trip. And I have been watching Looney Tunes. Of course, the entire season of Tom and Jerry is on Tubi. And I'm like, oh God, one season, that's all? It was like 56 episodes. I forgot they got to do one for every week. Big tone on Mickey Dolenz. You know, Mickey Dolenz, he was a monkey in that band. Mickey Dolenz was a very accomplished musician. And some may not know this, but Mickey shortened his name to Mick Dolenz when he managed the 80s rock band The Stranger, who were very good, might I add. I saw them open up for Aldo Nova and UFO in '82, I believe. Very good with the years, man. I'm all asunder in years. I don't know what year happened and what, where, and why. I believe it was '82, though, Shane. So, stop it, cutting me off. Went out and bought their album the next day. Not bad at all. Well, here's another fun fact for you, is indeed he changed his name to Mick Dolenz, but then he went to have a distinguished career in England. Because in England, they thought the Monkees it was absolutely brilliant. So he went on to be a director, producer for major television programs in England for decades. And then he got that call, hey, you want to do a reunion tour or whatever. And yes, in the heavy metal news, we do talk about the Monkees from time to time, all right? There are a few noises worse than sucking teeth, trying to scavenge leftover chow. He's talking about that guitar player that I mentioned that I had to go on tour with. We listened to System of a Down, and he sucked his teeth to get whatever it was out. Boy, I sure do love those little bow things. Have you seen those? It's got the little... I got a great big sack of them. And you can get them for like $3. It's like 5,000 teeth picks. But it's not a toothpick. It's, you know what I'm talking about. It's a little U-shape and it's got a little stick on it. And it's got the dental floss in there. Wonderful. And a couple with that disc playing nonstop, and coupled with that disc playing nonstop, I'm surprised you didn't give that guitarist half a slap. Bada bing! Mix in a flosser. I don't know what that means. Flossing? I'm sure I'm in the minority, but I'm not a big SOD guy. You're not a stormtrooper of death type of fella? I can take 'em or leave 'em. Oh, he's talking about System of a Down. Jeez. Big Tone, how you feel about Stormtroopers of Death? I can take them or I can leave them, but good on them for the charitable work. And I think Mike Buchanan brought something up in Patreon about a Scars on Broadway. We're going to try to get to that, maybe not this coming week. I'm just interjecting all over the place, ain't I? Ain't I? Well, it's my podcast. I can do that. Well, Big Tone on I'm With You. Y&T was an absolutely incredible live act to see. They never disappointed when I saw them. I saw Y&T, that wonderful, man, they were at the peak. Contagious record. They were on MTV and things were looking good. They were headlining it. But then I saw them in a smaller club years later, and the way it had to have been like 2009 or 2 something, but at the show, Dave Menike, it was sold out. I'm at the door, you can't get in, dude. You can't get in. I knew the club owner, and my band had played there several times. Even when he's like, dude, we don't have an opening act for this touring band, can you come in? Yeah, come and do it. So he says, come in. So it was sold out, Y&T. But the reason why I remember it is he had gotten a phone call that they found that the Y&T demos, do you remember the music factory, the record label or whatever that burned to the ground, and all those albums were, the masters were all burned? He was tearful because he says, I just found out we're going to be repressing Mean Streak and is it Black Tiger? And he's like, they got the demos. They got the demos. We're going to do it. Of course, Phil Kenmore was still with them. Rest in peace to Phil Kenmore. He's right here. He's just chilling. Big Tone on Typo. Oh, Typo had some really good hooks buried in with the mix. I still drop in bloody kisses occasionally. I'm not surprised by their continued popularity. Yeah. I mean, you can put on any record. And I'll tell you a funny story. October Rust, you listen to the very beginning of that album, and there's a buzzing noise. And I got the tape. So I popped it in. I just come out of the record shop, independent record shop, and I got that cassette. I put it in. What the fuck is this? And I hit the back of a little pickup truck. Just bumped it, but it was raining. And I got a ticket because it was still under the speed limit, but it said speeding in the something of the weather. I'm like, dude, I was going 25 miles an hour, and then the tape pops, and they go, hey, I hope you enjoyed our little joke there. And I'm like, what? Who does that on their albums? Typo Negative do. I'm with you on taking the good with the bad concerning Kiss. I really don't like all of the greedy nonsense that dominates them these days. But I'm not embarrassed to say that my go-to at one time was a Live 1, like a Live 2 was like a Live 2 was for you, brother. Yeah. I mean, I don't know why, but I had Kiss Alive 2 before I had that. I loved them both, but I know Kiss Alive 2. Like a lot of you old fuddy-duddies do, you know. I mean, shit, every other, you know, if you had a clicker on YouTube, every other clicker would be some kind of Kiss fandom thing. And then we got Big Tone coming in and says, rest in peace, Ozman. Heavy metal horns up. Rest easy, sir. I'm glad to see the number of subscribers continues to increase. Let's get to 100K. Smarter words have never been spoken. Great job again, Shane, and as always, keep them coming, brother. Heavy metal emoticons and hashtag get Shane to 100K. Let's put that on all the Facebook groups. Remember, we talked about that last week. Start plugging that in. And also this one, hashtag get Shane an Ambi Award. I added award, but either or. You can do Ambi or award, but let's get on that. And then, of course, we got the power punches, and I got to make sure and give these hearts out, too. Johnny B he damn near had a conniption. Well, not a conniption, but like a heart flutter. Because I forgot to hit his dang heart. You can watch that last episode. I didn't hit his heart. I had to go back later to ease his mind and hit that heart for him. So I'm trying to remember. Miss Althea coming in. The dumbstruck fool says Mickey Dolenz. She's talking Mickey Dolenz. I recognize him right away. I had a great laugh out of you equating him looking like a mob boss, ironically. Ironically, MeTV, a nostalgia channel, was showing an episode of Adam 12 the other day in which Mikey played a very mean leader of a motorcycle gang. He said that in the episodes, is that he played a lot of, when he was trying to get acting roles and stuff, it was a lot of bad guys. The Monkees were a huge part of my childhood. I cried like nobody's business when Davey, Peter, and Mike all passed away. May they all rest in peace. He had a lot of nice things to say about him, especially Mike Nesmith. He said, that's the dude. And I am so thankful Mikey is still with us to share memories and be the amazing performer that he is. Miss Althea on Typo Negative. Not so much about the story, but another one of the, well, that's ironic file, and the recurring topic of Peter Steele. So, earlier this week, someone posted to the hair metal subreddit scans of a photo shoot. Canadian Metal Queen. Doink doink, Canadian Metal Queen, Lee Aaron, whom we've done on this channel, did for Oi magazine. What? Lee Aaron did Oi magazine back in the 80s. I had a vice principal, she got fired, and I wish I could remember her name, but she got fired because she did Playboy. And it was years ago, but when they found out, they said, no. Some smart bugger said, my dad's got, one of the magazines. So Lee Aaron, 80s. She technically was not completely in the raw, but close enough. This, of course, was peak fodder for that male-dominated environment. Shocker. Okay, fine. Why don't I counter, or rather level the field, by posting scans of Stephen Pearcy's 1986 feature in Playgirl? Really? Did he hit the tan booth for that? Yes, I bought the issue back then, and I still have those pages. I did not keep the whole magazine. It was tame, as he only showed his ass. Lee Aaron put more out there than he did. And as you can imagine, quite a few comments were made along the lines of, he's no Peter Steele. Mr. Typo Negative. I will leave it at that. A funny story about Peter Steele and Playgirl is that he thought that they had to tell him that the majority of the readership is gay men that buys Playgirl magazine. And he was like, what? But I thought the ladies would see me. And well, they do. They buy it too, but Miss Althea on Jake E. Lee. I was almost going to twist your name up there in a weird way because I was looking at Jake E. Lee and I was going to say Altoona. I don't know why. Miss Althea, Jake E. Lee, he is one lucky SOB to still be able to play after arthritis and surviving a shooting. Thank goodness he recognizes this. Don Jameson, yes, was the other comedian who co-hosted That Metal Show with Jim Florentine and Eddie the Junk Man Junk in the Trunk. And she's even got it there, Eddie Junk in the Trunk. That's what I love right there. Miss Althea on Def Leppard. And I appreciate her really knocking all these questions that I ask right out. I like that Jameson fella. Miss Althea on Def Leppard with Tom Morello cranking out Just Like 73. I believe you were thinking of Gary Glitter. I mean, he's got some pretty good rockers, though. There's a bunch of them, though. Just Like 73. I believe you were thinking of Gary Glitter's Rock and Roll Part 1. With the sound and the feel of the song, and yes, I would agree they are similar. I will also just mention that I have been out of the loop with Def Leppard for over 2 decades now. That's about me. The last album I bought was 2002's X. How ironic is that title? And I honestly do not recall the last time I listened to it. What song did I hear the other day where I went, oh my God, that's not bad at all. But it's cheesy. Oh, I know what it was. I don't want to kick the habit. And I was like, why am I loving that? I should be saying, turn it off right now. Oh, Miss Althea on The World of Work. Changes abound for me as well. I was notified that in a couple of weeks I am going to be moved out of my office of 30 years and into an open space cubicle. 30 years. in that office. I am administrative support. Let's see. Wait, I missed a line. Real estate is at a premium in my division, and private offices are needed for higher positions such as managers and directors. I am administrative support. What used to be called a secretary. Hey, Toots, get us some coffees over there. You know, boy, the world's about to just change in so many fantastical and wonderful ways. And all my peers are in cubes, and always have been. So it is also a hierarchy thing. I will miss my window and view of trees, as well as the institution in 2026. It's full circle, I suppose, as I start out in a cube way back when, back to my humble roots. I have worked for a nonprofit organization that raises money for multiple sclerosis research for the last I was fired twice. I'll have to tell you those stories some other time. But I was fired twice, but they both times knocked on my door, come back. I feel like that was the universe asking me, this is where you need to be. When they show up and knock on your door and ask you, please come back, twice, you go back. But one thing that I'm glad this is all happening, because it's no longer going to be MS. It's not going to be non-profit. They're swapping all this shit around and doing all this and that, because it's all new people. And they come in and they say, oh, more trucks and more this and more good and more money and more and more. The thing that I'm to talk to you, Miss Althea, about what you're talking about, your humble roots, is when I came in and was like, I noticed all the plaques. I was there every single time one of those plaques was hung on the wall. Plaques and awards and everything from the national chapter of multiple sclerosis and all of this. And I'm like, where's all the plaques and stuff? Oh, I don't know. They're in a box somewhere. I don't know where they went. And I thought, I want to take those. I'm the only one left of the old regime. I guess I should have pointed that out. I'm the only one left, because when these takeovers happened, or these switches in people, or whatever, I stayed, because I was like, let's ride this baby. I'm going to ride it and see what happens. Just see what they do to it. And yeah, so I can understand where you're coming from there, because it's just like all for naught. Although we did raise at the last count, and this was years ago, was $13.5 million for MS research. And the plaques and awards and shit are in a box somewhere, and he don't know where they're at, and they're leaving in a week. I got 5 days left there. The world changes, but you know what? All change is good, whether you believe it or not. At the time, all change, all timelines lead to one place. All timelines lead to one place. She says God forsaken here. Sorry, I got off. I went off here. The hierarchy thing. I will miss my windows. Yes. Cube way back when. Back to my humble roots. Okay, Miss Althea on upcoming reaction spoilers. The Gazette's Silly God Disco will have gone up by the time this episode airs, but I just wanted to reiterate ahead of the game to anyone reading that I was not the requester. However, you can absolutely guarantee that I will have nothing. I will have something to say about it. I mean, like, holy fucking crap! Yuruha is so insanely gorgeous. Okay, Yuruha is so insanely gorgeous in that damn video. Oh, it is nothing short of criminal. Could someone pass me a fan and a bourbon on ice, please? Miss Althea, that's gotten you done worked up. That's got you really going. Dan, get her a poster of that man. Yuruha. Miss Althea, on continued love and support to Don Tone and his family, praying for your strength and for justice. On a related note, I would especially like to thank you, Diablo dearest, Don Tone, Mike B, and Johnny B, for checking in about Den, and for all of the well wishes and encouragement. We are hopeful that this chapter of our lives can and will finally close by the end of the month. Den, 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 Den. Keeping it bitchy. Gotta have some like little, remember Alice, the Alice show? Keeping it bitchy, bum 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 boom. It's got to have some little jingle at the end of it. There's your heart, Miss Althea. Mike Buchanan, the B69er. I told him he should change it to 52. Then he'd be Michael Buchanan B52. And he gets to sing the Love Shack. Any B52 fans? What's your favorite songs? Love Shack. Rome, Love Shack. I know I'd know him if I saw a list of them. Anyways, Mike Buchanan coming in here. He says, Shane, I have officially started putting my reviews up on Rotten Tomatoes. There's a backlog I have to go through. You got to come over to the episodes and copy and paste them. Remember how I showed you how to do that? You want it again? Look, you take the main finger, your not your thumb, but the forefinger. You put it down on the mouse thing, on the little, there's 2 buttons on there. Then when you hold that down, it'll turn it blue. You got to keep it holded down. And then you take your finger off when it's all blue. Then you hit the other one, the birdie finger. But you probably got that all worked out now. There's a backlog you got to get through, get them up. I'm telling you. And then you're going to start to get people that look for your reviews. Do you understand how that works? They go, man, he's really good at it, and he's been right about every movie that I watched. On this week's Movies That Are Bad, but we love them anyways, as it is Shark Week, and indeed it is. This past week, I give to you Shark Night 2011, as told by the lake. You know what I just realized is you're telling the stories. Those first 2 or 3, I was trying to figure out a voice for it. But you're telling it as told by the lake. This is brilliant, by the way. There ain't a damn reviewer out there that's doing it so interestingly. Someone will say, Shane, that's not true. You don't know all the reviewers in the world. And I don't. Okay, Shark Night 2011, as told by the lake. Look, I didn't ask for any of this. I'm just a lake, serene, still, occasionally shimmering in the golden dusk light. I've spent centuries hosting innocent cannonballs, lazy paddleboat rides, and the occasional midnight skinny dip, and sex too. Because once you get to skinny dipping, if you're with your gal, and you say, we should go out there and take it off, right? You can't look at her naked body and not want to just say, let's put our skivvies back on and go do whatever. But in Shark Night, Hollywood decided to turn me into a horror show. And frankly, I'm offended. First of all, sharks, really? In me? I'm freshwater. Not exactly prime real estate for a bull shark or great whites. Yet the film stuffs me full of toothy monsters like I'm some aquatic buffet line at SeaWorld. The only thing I usually host is bass and the odd snapping turtle. But no, let's throw in a marine biology defying twist and act like that's totally normal. Science apparently took a vacation. And then there are the humans. A group of college students arrive, and I think, great, more sunscreen in my water. But no, these ones bring with them terrible decisions, questionable acting, and GoPro-level filming techniques. There's got to be a couple that go under the water to see her little kicking legs. If I'm doing a shark movie, there's going to be one where I'm seeing the gal in the bikini underwater. Suddenly, I'm a blood-slicked nightmare spa. They think I'm just another backdrop for their summer getaway until the sharks show up. Suddenly, I'm a blood-slicked nightmare spa. But let's be honest. The real predators weren't the sharks. It was the plot holes. Somehow, I'm wired up with underwater cameras and feeding systems like it's a reality show hosted by Jaws. Apparently, some local yokels decided to monetize fear by dropping apex predators into my depths and filming the carnage. Did anyone stop to ask me? No. No permits, no environmental consolations, just pure exploitation. Despite all of this, I have to admit I did enjoy a few things. The cinematography tried its best to make me look menacing, but which was flattering. And every time someone screamed, the ripples across the surface looked pretty dynamic. That was nice. But ultimately, Shark Night is less of a thriller and more of a B-movie buffet of bad decisions served with a side of CGI overkill. If you're expecting logic, suspense, or scientific accuracy, stay on the shore. But if you want an absurd, campy ride through watery nonsense, dive in. Just don't blame me when you realize this whole thing should have been called Plot Hole Pond. Fantastic. Rating, 2.5 out of 5 lily pads. And he's got it signed by the lake. And there's a fish emoticon. Grab your favorite beverage, sit in your favorite chair, pop some popcorn, and press play. Don't forget your floaty. Now, I want to hear updates because people can give you thumbs ups on those reviews. I thought I read that overall pretty well, other than a few screw ups. My lips. I bitch in this week's videos about a cold sore. It's starting to go away now, or at least it feels that way. I never get cold sores, never. So I don't know what the hell's going on. Another thing I'll tell you, since it's Ozzy related everything, is I'm at my job lifting heavy shit. I'm out on the side of my truck, and I'm lifting all this stuff up. And this old guy comes plopping along, and he's wearing the biggest, what are those kind of, those kind of, they wear them like in the rice fields. Those rice hats, those great big brim ones. He comes walking by, and I've got Ozzy. I can't remember exactly what song it was that was playing. But I got my speaker, my portable speaker, and it's blasting. And he's just standing there looking at me. He goes, "Did you hear Ozzy died?" And I said, "Yeah, that's what I'm listening to right now. I heard it's sad, but that's what I'm listening to right now." And he goes, "Yeah." Just kind of wandered off. It's like, okay, bye. Let's get it. I was going to tell you another story. That's a story for another time. I got to get moving, man. Mike Buchanan, and he's talking about some stuff. Now, nope. We demand that Shane gets a Razzie Award. Out of all the award ceremonies out there, my personal favorite is the Razzies, or more formally known as the Golden Raspberry Awards. That sounds way more prestigious. The Golden Raspberry Awards. Well, my entrance song's got to be Raspberry Beret by Prince when I come out to collect my award. He wore a raspberry beret, the kind you find in a second-hand store. I should wear a raspberry beret. Since I'm a lover of all things bad in movies. Okay, so he knew that the official name was the Golden Raspberry Awards because he loves bad movies that we love anyways, and that's what that award's for, is bad things, or what they assume is not good. Or good, but just unconventionally good. Like me. Mike Buchanan says, I'm down with getting a new System of a Down album. See what I did there? I did. And has it really been 20 years since they released a new album? How is that possible? Sugar was on their first album simply titled System of a Down. I knew. Then why was he saying that? Our first 2 albums, Hypnotize and Mesmerize. I knew it wasn't them. Because I didn't like either one of them. Because that guy ruined them. I like that first one. Scars on Broadway is a darn good band. Yeah, we've spoken about that. We're going to get to it. Mike Buchanan on Typo Negative was one of those bands that I knew about from being part of the NYC music scene, but never got to see live. Oh yeah, they sounded just as good most of the time when you saw them live as their albums, because their albums are just sonic. And we're doing, spoiler alert, Carcass this weekend on the first listens that you're going to know about now. We're doing, oh God, what is it? Cadaver Pouch Conveyor System. I think it's for Miles. And that is another band that just has a sonic sound. Regardless of what you think of the music, there is a sonic thing to it. I mean, you can drink a bottle of red wine and pretend to be a vampire to a Typo Negative record. Mike Buchanan on Jake E. Lee, glad that he's fully recovered. That story of him getting shot was nuts. And speaking of Back to the Beginning concert, I am heartbroken to hear of Ozzy's passing. What a way to go out in style. Rest in peace to the Prince. Babbles. Babbles, Sharon. Babbles. I'm the Prince of fucking Daftness. That's in the Osbourne show. So you can go watch that and see how close I get to it. Because it's my favorite scene, one of my all-time favorite scenes of that show. Mike Buchanan on Def Leppard. Just Like 73 is a brand new song they released last year. Okay. Well, that saves me time then, because I was thinking it was some song from before Mutt Lange got a hold of them. Or did Mutt Lange do all their records? All the good ones, anyways. He also did Shania Twain. He was married to her. And then he cheated on her. Mutt Lange. Have you seen Mutt Lange? Mutt Lange cheated on Shania Twain. Who the do you think you are, sir? I would give... You wouldn't want to know what I would give to be married to Shania Twain. Bud, we've got an issue here. Because it says, and now your Jive Talkin' Jokes of the Week, and I'm seeing a ... And that can't... Something has gone awry here because I double-checked and triple-checked because Miss Althea was missing again. So I don't know what's happened to the Jive Talkin' Jokes of the Week. You see it says show less right there? I'm sorry about that. Please. I got through most of your stuff, so let's be happy about that. I don't know what happened with them. Every single week I have to hit that newest thing, and Miss Althea pops up. She is the only one missing week after week after week. I don't know what the hell this YouTube system's, what's going on with it. Let's get into Johnny B here, and we we got our little friend here? Yes, Rebel Metal coming in to finish out the show once again. Johnny B coming in, yes! The rabbit hole sounds like a great idea. I've been hoping you would do something like this for a while now. If you need help or run a test flight, let me know, and I'd be glad to help. Will do. You asked what days and times people would prefer, and for me, any day works, preferably in the afternoon. Like any time after 5 or 6 p.m., it would be so cool to see and meet everyone. And I hadn't thought about that angle, but if you're in a live chat, live streaming situation, you're able to speak with each other in real time in the comments, in the thing. And we need a lot of that because I want to see that thing humming. Okay? I see those guys and it's like plick, plick, And they look very self-conscious, like they're having a hard time. I want to see that sucker rolling. Now, I was thinking, I got to figure some stuff out because I'm still going to do the podcast. And I'm still going to do all the reactions. And I'm still going to do my first listens and all of that. But I did have an idea about what I would really love to do, but I would like it to be a lot more better equipment and stuff than what I've got here. But wake up with Shane Diablo and do literally, whether you're waking up in the morning or whatever, I'm on freaking YouTube streaming live. And you're getting ready for work, you're combing your hair, you know, you're putting some curls in, looking good. Whatever you're doing, eating some breakfast or whatever, and I'm on for an hour or two, a couple of hours every day. This is going to happen sometime in August, so there's plenty of time to work through all of that. Maybe even September, I don't know. But what I would really like to do is I would like to start streaming and doing some other things so I don't have to go and find another job. That's what I would really like to do, is like some kind of streaming or something, but we'll get there. We'll figure it out. I flow with the universe now. I wait for my intuition to tell me what will happen next, what should happen next. I don't look at the news. I don't look at what they're going to say. Oh, God, they're going to die. Whatever it is, I don't watch any of it. There's an asteroid coming to Earth. No. I don't watch it because it's constructed to keep you in fear and have you worried about it. And I got to go check the news and see what there's an update. That's what it is all designed to do. And when you let go of it all and you focus, you will be amazed. What do you think of that, Tony Robbins? Sure, you're pretty good, but, I got a thing on you. I'm just saying it works for me, guys. And I'm as honest as a summer rain. As honest as a summer rain falling gently on a beautiful woman who's somewhere's nearby a beautiful old oak tree and old-timey fence, needs a bit of mending, as the rain glistens across her breasts and in that beautiful sundress. I am as that honest as that is what I am. Johnny B's going to talk about Big Tone. Big Tone nailed it when he said we all are, Big Tony nailed it when he said all we are to corporate America is a number. We had a town hall meeting at Workplace a few weeks back, and they had it at an office with real employees in attendance. The rest of us, what? We had a quote-unquote town hall meeting at my workplace a few weeks back, and they had it at an office with real employees in attendance. The rest of us were on our company iPads. Oh, they started taking questions from the iPad users and used our employee numbers. That's what your social security number is. Yeah, you're going to use your employee number instead of our names. And unless your employee number is fucking 2 digits. Hey, 22. It would just be easier to call you Johnny. Yeah, Johnny, what you got over there? iPad 22, we got Johnny. Oh, he's got a very good idea for that. Give that man a raise right now. I don't care what corporate says, give him a raise. They started taking questions, yes. Flat cheeks, he's got flat cheeks in here, I'm loving it. The rest of us were on our iPads. They started taking questions from the iPad users and used our employee numbers instead of our names. One of the flat cheeks called on a guy, and he said, "My name is Jeff. I'm not a number." God, what is that? What do they do in Number of the Beast? I am a free man. I am not a number. You are number 2. What? It's escaping me. My name is Jeff. I'm not a number, which reminded me of The Prisoner. Thank you, by Iron Maiden. And you should use our names. That's all we are to them. Numbers on a spreadsheet. How absolutely sad, pathetic, and disrespectful is that? I see my boss maybe twice a month, and I'm not complaining about that at all. No, you shouldn't. But the iPad is my real boss. Before you know it, AI will be my boss, and eventually my job will be eliminated. Johnny, your job will be eliminated, but there will be no need for you to go and stress about jobs. Jobs, this is not who you are. I'll just say it straight to you. The person that that's going through this rigmarole is not you. Find yourself and realize who you truly are, because deep down in, you know that's not you. I'm not this place, I'm not that, I'm not this. Kids are wonderful. Yes, I love my son. But I'm saying, you're still a human person, a human being in there. Who are you? Who are you inside? That's the question. And the only way to get there is take that time to go inside. They will tell you, you got to find it everywhere else. You got to go over here to this building and pray for that. You got to go over here and earn your living. You got to do this and you got to do that. All you got to do is go inside. I'm done. But you're right. Social security numbers, baby. That's what you are. Well, looks like old 782-999-655531, he owes us tax money. Again, I go back to that image. A beautiful galaxy. Massive, beautiful galaxy that we live in. And an arrow pointing to this tiny little dot. This tiny little pale blue dot, as Carl Sagan would call it. And it says, here you are, worrying about taxes, worrying about jobs, worrying about what this business suit is going to do to this and the gavel and this and that. It seems a bit strange, doesn't it? That people in pantsuits and business suits let us know what's going on in the world. A bit fishy to me. Johnny B, I apologize for that. Let's get back to you. I hope you had a chance to check out The Nightfly by Donald Fagen. I have not. That could have been another Steely Dan album, in all sincerity. 9 Inch Nails released their new song, Alive As You... Okay, there was a period at the end of that. Donald Fagen has nothing to do with 9 Inch Nails. Unless he's into some kinky shit that he does in his, dungeon at night. He's got 9 Inch Nail bed of nails or something. Alive As You Need Me to Be from the Tron Ares soundtrack, and it's pretty good. Trent has a reputation of releasing mediocre track before the really good stuff, so I'm guessing this is the case with this song, because it's good, but so you're thinking there'll be better stuff. I'm extremely excited for his new album soundtrack. Been watching the live shows overseas they're doing and can't... What are you saying here, Johnny? Been watching the live shows overseas they're doing and can't for them to hit the States and can't wait. He's been watching, guys, he's been watching the live shows that Mr. Trent Reznor and 9 Inch Nails have been doing overseas, that they've been doing. And he can't wait for them to hit the States. Now, I did watch some of one of the shows. I think it was in, it was somewhere where I could hear him say, oh, there you go. Oh, he sounds nice, doesn't he? Because he comes out on a tiny square and he's just playing a piano song for the first one. And I was like, man, is this going to expand? Because people are surrounding him all the way. But I'll tell you the truth. I couldn't really hear his voice that good, so I just kind of scanned along the whole concert until I saw flashing lights like this. And I went, oh, there they are. Because you remember we did that video on that drummer. It was amazing. Sorry, Johnny. Here we go. I hope everyone is having a great week and a beautiful weekend. Until next time, keep looking up, keep asking questions, and keep your iPad near in case you need to ask your boss a question. Yep, old flat cheeks at my office. He thinks what he thinks is, they says, oh, you're going to work from home. He's like, oh. He just had a baby. And you sit there and burp the baby. You guys need to work harder. But what hasn't seemed to sink into his brain is he's the one getting in the truck and doing my shit all day long, every day, until they hire more people. He's a nice enough guy, okay? But I'm past it now. P.S. Johnny B's coming here now. We got to check and see if this was an edit. Indeed it was, guys. So Johnny B had put in his comment and edited in for a P.S. I could be wrong. P.S. R.I.P. Ozzy Osbourne, an absolute legend of a man. There will never be another. As Gene Simmons said, my heart is broke over this news. However, all he did was leave his meat sack. It's the God honest truth, guys. It's you asking the meaning of life. I am you, you are me. We all come from Source or God or whatever you want to call it. But this energy is here to learn life lessons and have fun. And here's what I believe. If this resonates with you, take it. If it doesn't, you say, hooey balooey, Shane. I don't believe a damn thing of it, and kiss off. But here, I believe that this is school, and this is hard knocks. So them ups and them oh my God downs. If you go inward, if you get rid of all of that negativity, if you raise your vibration, if you just, and simply by finding out who you are inside. I lost my train of thought, but it's a journey. It's an experience you are having, and that experience is to make yourself better and cut the cord on blah 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 blah. You need a job, need this, blah, blah, blah. The scarcity and all of that. That's what I'm talking about. Because you realize, you start to go, it's like a soap opera. Watching all of that stuff, celebrities and the news and all of that, it's like a soap opera. Do you want to know how I'm going to tell you how it really is. This is a video game to me. All of you are in that video game along with me, and you are having your own separate experience inside of this video game. But the difference is you are living in a time where help from elsewhere is saying the video game's over. Because the video game has been made, or you could say the Matrix has been made to keep you. And when you set yourself free from it, you raise your vibration. When you raise your vibration, you ascend. And none of that fear and anger and hatred and all that stuff comes with you. And no jobs come with you. You know, this isn't about leaving your body and going anywhere else. This is just about raising yourself. Someone's going, dude, he has damn lost it. I got a couple friends that have said, he's lost it. He's going crazy. And I am going to rejoice. I'm telling you right now, I am going to rejoice. Not out loud, but to myself. When things slowly start to churn and things start to go, oh, all timelines lead to the same place. AI, quantum physics, galactic friends. We're at the front door. We're at the precipice. The future is a foreign land, my friends, as Ghost would say. He's in on it. He knows. Bands that know what's going on have been singing about it for years. Tears for Fears. The Fix. I'm pretty sure Ghosty Man, he's hip to it too. There's all these bands that have had that. It's happening. And it's wonderful. So don't be frightened for me. Don't be going, oh my God, someone call and do a health check on him. But don't be frightened for yourself, because the best days of your life are on the way. Just get rid of that negativity. Spend some time with yourself. It's work. It's hard. Mama Diablo, my God, I could be here for years telling you crazy shit where you'd go, wow. It takes you a long time to get over that stuff, but you work your way through it punch by punch. It's called doing the shadow work. Getting rid of all the negativity, all the shadows, all that. You get it out. And that leaves room for you to become better, a better person, a healthier person. Guys, I can't, I'm passionate. I'm a very passionate person about this, because I've always been a glasses half full kind of a guy, but I was a full-on skeptic about everything and anything and everything. And you weren't going to change me for nothing. And then these experiences started to happen. My grandpa, my best friend, my mother. And I went, wow, there's something. And it is all connected. It's all entwined. There isn't, it's the age of Aquarius. It is time for the divine feminine, if you understand. Yes, I'm saying it. I'm saying it's that moon shit. It's that woo-woo shit. It's that whatever. But I'm telling you, if it resonates with you, all you have to do is love. All you have to do is go inside. Get rid of all that stuff you need to get rid of. And it'll take you a while, but every single time you get closer and closer. And one time you'll sit down for an hour and not a thought will pop in. You just sit there like this. And then the thing will ding and you go, that was an hour? Wait a minute. That was an hour that I was... And it worked for me. It will work for you. You spend your whole life in this. You go, it's the brain. And then the blood and the heart and everything just pumps and stuff. But what really are you? What are you? Who are you? You know who I am? I'm a 12-year-old dude that loves heavy metal goddamn music and wants to learn how to play the bass guitar and watches rock concerts. And I'm getting my life back. I'm getting my childhood back. I'm getting my essence, or my, my sweetness, my kindness. We've had too much of the negativity, and that was a time period. But we are moving into a new time period. This isn't, Jesus, tune out of this if this is freaking anybody out. Just tune out now. But this isn't that far off from the love movement in the 60s. It was consciousness raised, and people putting the flowers in the gun barrels and stuff, going, what are we doing, man? Those people were waking up to the idea. Meditation and all that. They were waking up to what are we doing? If it resonates with you, awesome. If it doesn't, that's fine. You'll get there. This isn't a race. You will get there when you get there. No one is left behind. No, nothing. There's no fear factor here. None. The key is love. That's it. And I'll leave you with that. Hashtag get Shane to 100K. At least get him here. Wait. I want to finish reading this. Rest in peace, Ozzy. There will never be another. My heart is broken. The news. However, he did leave his meat sack. Ozzy and his music and spirit are alive in all of us. The song You Can't Kill Rock and Roll hits way different now. What a beautiful soul. Indeed, hashtag get Shane to 100K, brought to you by, I don't feel like, because they're getting, dude, they're getting money. I mean, they're getting free advertising if I just do the ads. I need the check, Liquid Death. Please hear me now. If you've made it this far, maybe you're going to meditate tonight, some of you over at theliquiddeath.com. And of course, I'm wearing my wonderful Ben Hogan's. My shorts, my golf shorts that are just top notch. But I'll tell you this, I fell off the back of my truck. And there was a desk, upside down desk leg or whatever, and I hit my tush, my right tush cheek, ass cheek. Pretty damn hard on it. I've got a little scab, little circular scab on my ass cheek there. And yes, it put a hole in one of my Ben Hogans. And did I freak out? Did I judge? Did I do any of that? I said, it is what it is. It is what it is. Now, Johnny, look at me, hear me now, see me now. Look at that, bang. I'm doing double check everybody else. And I hope you enjoyed my sermon. We will head out with the fine and fantastic Rebel Metal here. Well, Rebel Metal 4233, but let's see your stats, bud. 40 comments. Well done. I was looking at this going, what's this about? I hope you have 2 million subscribers if you want. 40 comments, 10 hearts. Indeed, you'll be getting that one right here, right now. I wait all week for this, Shane. Great job, Shane. I threw in my name twice. Guys, what I'm trying to do is give you guys, I like to put it on Miss Althea because she's the only woman here. This freaking, all I'm telling you is what worked for me. The guy that sees a hawk fly around the sun the guy that sees the orb, and you've seen the videos, Olivia Newton orb that hangs out my window. There's a new guy, looks like 2 little beep lights, looks like a little piece of rice every morning. And I think I'm going to snap a photo tomorrow morning. So maybe next week I'll show it to you if the sky's clear and he's up there. But it's all about, here, I'll put it in the perfect savage way. This is the way my brain wants to say it. And the idea is for humanity to lose anger, hatred, judgment, all of that negativity. Because in order to join a galactic community, don't believe any of the dumb shit about, they're using your bodies over there. None of that. It's all garbage. Anything that's based in fear or makes your guts go, ugh, it's horse crap. I see it with my own beautiful eyes every damn morning. And nothing radiates from those things but absolute love. But that's what it is we're going to be welcomed in, we are going to be welcomed into a galactic community. And what they'd like is if you guys weren't animals anymore, with the killing and the hate and the punching and the shanking and all that. We'd like you to stop that if you could. The only way that happens is for you to raise your vibration. The only way and like I said, no one's left behind here. This is a journey that you take, But that is the goal. To, who knows, man, see the stars. They say we have great technologies we would like to give Earth. But you can't be using it for wars, is basically the gist of this. We love to think that we're the top of the food chain, but my friends, my sweet friends, we are not. We are at the ground level. Our ancestors before us, our loving parents and their loving parents and all of that, they weren't prepared, ready. We're doing quantum physics and AI now. They're going, aha, they're ready for this. They're here. And you guys are welcome to put in the comments too. Here's what I think about your speeches. I hope that I hope that they're going the right way, as in, all you need is love. Spend time with yourself, meditate, find out who you are inside, because you're going to love that person. When you get down to the nuts and bolts of it, you're going to say, I loved me as a kid. That's who I was before school, before jobs, before politics, before... Right? All right. Done. Jesus. I will promise next week I'm keeping it light on that. And if you have any questions, you know, I'm going with the universe, and I'm going with what I'm feeling and seeing inside. So if you got any questions, I don't know, maybe you do, maybe you don't. You say, that scares me, everything you're saying, Shane. You want to talk about a fear factor? That scares me, what you're saying. Come on, let's go out with a tune. Oh, maybe this. Ozzy Osbourne, Ozzy. He's a prince of darkness, he's a prince of pain. He went home to see his mama and Randy, but maybe not Ronnie. Ozzy, oh, Ozzy, Ozzy.